Welcome to Cinemophile, where we bring you the best in independent, documentary, and foreign films, and we talk to the people who made them. I'm your host, Mike Caspar, and you can find out more about the program by going to cinemaphilepod.com. At her mother's urging, introverted 16-year-old Lucia joins a Catholic school's all-girl choir where she befriends Ana-Marija, a popular older student. When the choir travels to a countryside convent for a weekend retreat of intensive rehearsals, Lucia navigates unfamiliar surroundings, complex teenage social structures, and her own awakening sexuality. Beautiful film, just an absolutely gorgeous to look at. The acting is great. There's so much here to recommend. We're joined today by the director of Little Troubled Girls, Urška Djukić. Urška, welcome to Cinemophile.
Thank you.
I want to congratulate you on a number of different aspects to this film that really resonated with me. The acting, these young actors are just great. They seem very natural in the role that they're in. I love the story as well as the cinematography. Lots of close-ups, lots of intimacy, really pulling us into the story. I know you co-wrote this with Maria Boer. Tell me a little bit about how this came about for Little Trouble Girls.
So the first moment actually was when I saw a choir, a concert of a Catholic girls choir. They were singing this beautiful folk song, very old Slovenian song, and with their voices very open. They were just on the edge of becoming women, from girls to women. And there was this strong energy, strong power, feminine power there that really touched me very deeply. At the same time, there was these three priests sitting in the front row, and this image of men in celibacy, patriarchal environment, observing and also listening to the voices of young girls, the voices that were usually so repressed and are not welcome, was so striking to me that I knew I need to research more through film, and also to try to give this feeling that something touched you so deeply to the audience. So that was the starting point. I started writing with a co-writer, but at the same time, at one point, we didn't really agree anymore on where to go. It's really hard to co-write a film. So I went on alone to create. And when I found the location of shooting, this monastery in this city, with a small Italian city, Cividale del Friuli, very beautiful, I also completely changed the script and set it inside this monastery and around, because there was this Natisone river there, there was this Devil's Bridge, and the cave was there, and just everything comes from location. I was just taking, it was just giving me, it was the process of screenwriting. But then when I invited the actors to collaborate, of course, also I still changed the script, especially according to the characters of girls, of young girls, because Lucia and Ana-Marija were first time actors. They were not, they were young at the time, and they were first time on camera, so they didn't have much experience. We did a lot of rehearsals, a lot of improvisational rehearsals before, to really understand these characters and their chemistry. And so I was always writing till the end, even in the editing, the script was changing until the final moment. And yeah, that's what makes it so interesting, because I guess, creative process is so elusive and so magical. You cannot really have a recipe for it. What I do is I follow my intuition where it guides me, and I go there and
well, that reinforces what I felt in the film, in the sense of it's a very natural film. It feels very connected to the lives and the development of young women. And I will just disclose that I have three sisters. They're all younger than I am. So I'm around women a lot. And I can tell you, I mean, just from my own experience of just being around young women as I have been, this feels very much like what I've experienced in my own life in that regard. And I appreciate that about it because there is something about the energy of young women in this as they're becoming teenagers, growing into their bodies and the rest of it, that is so much less filtered than as a man. There's so much more, we're so much more guarded, where the ability, and you see it so often in this film, to talk to one another on very intimate terms, very honest terms with one another, is unfathomable to me as a man in that period of time in my life. So I feel like you really captured it as someone who has been around women my entire life. So just from my perspective, but it feels that way. If I wasn't, it didn't have this experience, I would feel this, I think, very much the same way. So my congratulations to you. And so much of this has to do with your cast, as you mentioned. I mean, they're just really lived in. The roles feel very, very lived in. And I can see why you would say improv, because they had some contribution to the script as well. Is what I'm saying sound like it sounds like what you were just saying back to me, but it just really feels like a wonderful experience cinematically to be listening into their conversations and seeing them process what's happening to them in their lives. It's beautiful.
Well, thank you. That's very nice to hear.
Let's talk about the cast and Jara Sophia Ostan, who plays Lucia, is innocent and smart. She hasn't figured things out yet. And then you have the foil to her, Mina
Okay.
Schweiger, who plays Ana-Marija, and they're just play off of one another. Talk about what went into your casting, how you found them.
So we had this casting, and I got like 60 videos of girls just introducing themselves, and immediately I think I mean in the first watch I knew that Lucia is the one. It wasn't so easy because her mother actually applied her for this audition, and she really didn't know what if she wants this or not. She was also the only one who was late to come to the audition, you know. So in the beginning was a bit hard because we needed to understand if she will really give everything for this film, because I was very strict and I said like I want to find the perfect person. If you are, you will have to give a lot, otherwise it won't work. And at one point she accepted and started giving and open up. It was a very long process. We had an acting coach also, and we had some fitness coach and a voice coach. So she had a lot of learning in this year of preparation. And yeah, we were working together a lot with this through this improvisational rehearsals to find to be, you know, to not to act, but to really feel and to be inside the body. And that was very interesting because I think many people today, but especially young people, are much more cut off from the body. You know, they are more in the mind than in the body. And it was interesting to see how Yara was changing throughout this rehearsal process, because in the beginning, for example, her hands were just hanging there. She didn't really use them a lot. And then slowly she started to go inside the body, and also through this year of working she turned into woman at the same time. That was also what I really wanted, someone who is in the moment of becoming a woman from a girl, because she is still has this Virgin Mary child look, and then yeah, she transitioned through this film into the woman. So that was what I was looking for, and yeah, it was a very long and beautiful process.
Let's talk about Mina because she is her foil. She is the person who provokes so much of what happens to Lucia. How did she come into this process?
Also through this casting, she's one amazing young actress, just so very talented. What I was interested in this relationship was this concept of attraction, that you know, the attraction and the sexual energy isn't always connected to sexual intercourse. it's more like a life energy that guides you where you need to go, what you are attracted to. Yeah, it doesn't mean you need to have a sexual relationship there, but you have there something for you in for your personal growth to go there. So this, and also to not define sexuality as, you know, men and women, that this is very broader energy, that we should look at it like that and not oppress it in small roles. So that was I was researching through these characters, and they
Yeah,
were like yin yang.
absolute yin and yang of each other. Well, and that's, I mean, just observationally in life, the familiarity, the comfort level that young women have with one another is light years away from young men. At this age, we're beating each other up. We're trying to assert our dominance. It's just unthinkable as far as my, the world I grew up in. And this is true, I found throughout life, is that young women are just so much more open and cooperative. The fact that they're in a choir, I think sums up so much about women in their, at this point in their life, and throughout most of their life, it seems to me, that they're in so much more able to cooperate and willing to cooperate with one another in an endeavor. And that's how this feels. There's so much that I think you captured beautifully in this film, in this point in their lives, and in contrast to her mother, who seems completely, in some ways, cut off from that because of her of the life she is in at that point. So it feels like this sort of the you see the contrast between her mother and her. And I will say, Jara is so, her face, her bearing, the way she carries herself is, yeah, all of those things that I think this film is about. So beautiful, just a beautiful film. I want to ask you about the filmmaking part of it because really the cinematography in this is so critically important to the success. To be in those little circles, to be in the choir with them, to see how they. Let's talk about who your cinematographer was and what working with them meant to you.
So I work with Leo Predan Kowarski, and we already worked on two other films before together, two short films. We are very good friends and know each other for a long time, so we knew, yeah, very well how to do the collaboration when we started. He was already in the rehearsal process included. He was all the time there, so was the closest collaborator. We decided I wanted to be very close, as you see, as you mentioned, because to make this tactile experience of the body, to understand and to feel as Lucia feels, more to feel and to convey to the viewer this, to try to make the viewer feel, you know, what she feels from very close. And actually it's a kind of a journey. This film is a journey inside the body, which also ends like that, to with this surrealistic or magical realistic scenes where Lucia goes inside her body and finds something beautiful there. So because I believe that the body has intelligence of its own that is even stronger than our rational mind, that it works on, follows constructions and rules and oppression sometimes. So we used the word gentleness a lot of times while collaborating, to have to really feel the gentleness of this process of growing, of blossoming, and of understanding also the oppressive society that wants to put you into, you know, into a little, how do you say, frame or a box. So yeah, we wanted to go very close, and with that we realized that everything goes out of the frame, which is still inside the film as a sound, but is out in a way. It was a kind of a metaphor that you cannot really frame a young girl. When you go close, it will, you know, go out of the frame.
Thank you for that. Thank you for reminding me of the sound design in the film, because at the especially at the beginning, Jara is very sensitive to sound. She hears things that I assume other people cannot hear. And that was beautiful. And just going back to the filmmaking, the cinematography, the lighting in this film is really, really good, in all different kinds of ways. Lev Pedron Kowarski
Lev Predan Kowarski.
did a great job here. And again, all of this works in a way that furthers what you're talking about, the body, how our body tells us things that we don't always listen to, but we eventually will pay dearly for not listening to our body. And all of the smaller roles, or beyond the main roles, they're really good. And I want to point out the teacher, this music teacher, and I don't want to get into the dynamics of where he plays into the story, but he does play a significant part in some ways in the sexuality of all of this.
Sasha Tabakovic,
Yeah.
amazing actor. Yeah. The script from the beginning, when he read it, he was like, "Oh, thank you so much," and he decided he will make the best role, and he did very well. So with him, I think we were researching a character who really follows these rules, who is very much into this box, and whatever goes out, it disturbs him. And that kind of takes the ground, this moment of with Lucia's playing with ideas and sexuality.
Mm-hmm.
It disrupts his ideas. Also, probably he isn't clear very well about his own sexuality, and that completely disturbs him, and he really act very inappropriate, trying to punish someone for his own distress. And I think that's a mechanism that is so so common in the society, in every human being. It happens sometimes in some way. So that was a very important role, also to show this oppressiveness of the rules that don't help.
Beautifully said. Absolutely. There's just a lot to admire about this wonderful film, Little Trouble Girls. It's a collaboration of, I believe it's Italy, Slovenia, and Croatia and Serbia. Is this been submitted for consideration for Best International Feature?
Yes, it is a Slovenian candidate for best for Oscars, but also it is nominated for European Film Awards.
Congratulations congratulations on your work. I look forward to more from you. I'm sure you've got things going on right now that we can't talk about, but I look forward to your work in the future. This is a really well done film that I think will resonate with anyone who watches it across any society. There's so much here. And anytime we can bring to the forefront women, young women, and how, if we just follow their example, we could have a better world moving forward. I really do truly believe women are the future. And I want to thank you so very much for your time today for the film Little Trouble Women. Urška Djukić, thank you so very much for your time today, and thank you.
Thank you.
You have been listening to Cinemaphile with Mike Kaspar, the place where you will hear from the best in independent documentary and foreign filmmakers. Please check out our previous interviews as well as upcoming interviews and special programming by going to cinemaphilepod.com. We are also available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube, searchable under Cinemaphile with Mike Kaspar. Until next time, thank you for listening.